Hey, this is Mr. Jarvis with homework help for December 5th, Tuesday, and we're working with decimals now. When we're subtracting or adding decimals, you just make sure you need to line up, like with any number, line up the place values. So we have the 0 and 7 tenths or 70 hundredths, we could say, minus 0 and 55 hundredths. Let me write the 55 a little better. So let's go ahead. So we just have to line these up. That's the only thing that makes it kind of 0. 0 minus 5, we need to do a little borrowing here. Borrow 6 tenths. And make this a 10, so we get 5. And 6 minus 1 is 1. And we bring down the decimal point. We have the 0. So we have 15 hundredths for that one. So just make sure everything lines up nicely. And we have to be working with the same hundredths and etc. Oh, I think they want you to express it as a decimal and a fraction. So 15 hundredths is 15 hundredths, like this. I could simplify this fraction because they're both divisible by 5, which would give me 15 divided by 5 is 3. 100 divided by 5 is 20, or 3/20. Okay. Either way, you don't need to simplify necessarily, but I just kind of want to bring that to your attention. So 40 hundredths minus 1/10. So we need to convert these. The lowest common denominator is 100. And so it's the same as 40 hundredths minus 10 hundredths. And I get 30 hundredths. 30 hundredths can be simplified. They're both divisible by 10. I can write 3 tenths. How do I write that as a decimal? 0 and, better 0 here. I don't want to confuse anybody. 0 and 3 tenths. This is the tenths place. All right, let's take a look at another one here. Okay, this one kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. I had to read it a couple times. So if you got a little confused, don't feel bad. Jonah and Haley made brownies to bring as a class treat. That's irrelevant. Okay. Some were plain and some had sprinkles. These are the ones that are plain. They class A want 3/4 of one pan and 1/6 of another pan of the plain brownies. They ate 5/6 of a pan and 1/10 of another pan of the ones with sprinkles. So we need to figure out. It's asking, the brownies were all the same side. Do they eat more plain or brownies or more with sprinkles? We need to find just the totals. We're just adding fractions here. So we're adding 3/4 plus 1/6. I need to find a common denominator. And I'm thinking 12. Okay, so I'm going to write the 3/4 as something over 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So 3 times 3 is 9/12 plus 1/6 over 12. 6 times 2 is 12. 1 times 2 is 2. So I get 11/12. Okay. Of the plain ones. 11/12 plain here. Let me see here. Now I'm going to do the sprinkled ones. I would have had the sprinkled ones. So we have 5/6 plus 1/10. Okay, so I need to find a common denominator between 6 and 10. I'm thinking 30. So 6 times 5 is 30. 10 times 3 is 30. So I'm going to write 5/6 as something over 30. All right, so 6 times 5 is 30. And 5 times 5 is 25. So this is 25 30ths plus 10 times 3 is 30. 1 times 3 is 1. So I got 28 30ths. Okay. So if I simplify the 28/30, maybe I can get a better idea here. So let's see here. If I simplify this here really quickly, so I can simplify this. I need to simplify, and then it'll make more sense. So let's see here. The row is divisible by 2, so I could divide them both by 2 and get 14/15. Now, which is bigger, 11/12 or 14/15? So the pieces are smaller with the 15, but we're getting closer. So the 15th is actually a little bit is larger by somewhat. And let's see if I can show you. If I bring up my calculator here, uh, uh, one way is on a calculator. If you divide 14 by 15, you get a higher decimal number. If you just do it on a calculator, 14 divided by 15, I get 93%. Let's see if I can bring up a calculator really quickly. Calculator, sorry. Here we go. Just really quickly. Okay. I'm hoping you can see that. So one way to figure it out is 14 divided by, fractions are all division problems, really. It's portions of something divided by 15. I get this 9333333. I round it to nearest hundreds, 93. So it'd be like 93% of them. If I do the 11/12, remember that 93. So I'm going to clear that. 11. This finds the percent divided by 12. I get 91 or 91,666. It rounds to 92. So it's slightly less than the 14/15. So one way to find a percent is divide like the numerator by the denominator, and that'll convert it to a fraction. We'll get it more into that later. I'm kind of surprised I gave it, but if you think about it, if you're actually to draw something in 15ths and then color in 14, and draw something and cut it into 12 pieces and color, divide it into 12 pieces and color in 11, you'd see visually that the 14/15 is slightly larger. I just used a calculator, but you can tell anyway. Hopefully that helped. That was kind of a tricky one. Anyway, have a great evening.